Hello everybody, this is Jabin Banu M. Nadaf, Selection Grade Lecturer in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Government Polytechnic Belagavi, delivering today's video content. We are studying Unit 2, Transistors and MOSFETs. In this unit, already we have discussed about the BJTs and the MOSFETs. Today, we are discussing or learning about MOSFET as a switch, applications of MOSFET and ratings of MOSFET. So let's have a quick recap on what we have discussed in the previous session. In the previous session, we had a discussion on the characteristics what the MOSFET is going to exhibit. That is, it has output characteristics and transfer characteristics. The output characteristics is a plot of the drain current ID versus drain to source voltage VDS for fixed or constant values of VGS. The transfer characteristics is a plot of drain current versus input voltage VGS for fixed or constant values of VDS. So let's plot the output characteristics. So it is a plot of ID versus VDS for constant values of VGS. So how much constant or what is the fixed values, what parameters we have to consider, all this we have discussed in the experimental setup in the previous session. So let's quickly just recall how the characteristics was. You can draw as many set of characteristics as you need. Just I will only represent this much. So let us have a quick discussion and move on for our today's session. So this was how your output characteristics was looking. So also we studied that the MOSFET was exhibiting different regions of operation, like it was exhibiting cutoff region where the value of VGS was less than VTH. Then it exhibited the linear region or the ohmic region where the value of VGS was greater than VTH, but the drain current varied linearly with the VDS. Then we studied about the third region, saturation region, where the value of VGS was much greater than VTH and drain current was constant. So these are the characteristics of the output of MOSFET, which is exhibiting different regions of operation. Then also we obtained the output drain resistance and the gain of the MOSFET, which is helping for the amplification. So what is the output resistance? It is change in the output voltage divided by change in the output current. What is gain? It is change in the output voltage multiplied by a new value. This is called as transconductance, which we are obtaining from the transfer characteristics. So these all we had learned in the output characteristics. So what is the transfer characteristics? The transfer characteristics, it is a plot of output current versus input voltage for constant values of the output voltage. So in this, let's draw it how it is exhibiting the transfer characteristics. Output current, input voltage for the constant values of VDS. So VDS is say X volts. We are obtaining ID versus VGS. So if a variable amount of VGS is transferred at the output side, therefore we are getting the transconductance. So what amount of input is helping me for the output conductivity. So that parameter is called as transconductance, which we are obtaining from the output characteristics. Sorry, which we are obtaining from the transfer characteristics. So the transconductance GM is given as the ratio of the current to the voltage, that is the change in the output current to the change in the input voltage. So GM is delta ID divided by delta VGS. So with this help of GM, it is telling me how much amount of conductivity is enhancing or improving. If I multiply this with the output voltage, I will be getting the gain of the MOS, which is used in the amplification. So when the MOS devices or MOS FETs are used as amplifiers, they will be used in the linear region, and that time the gain is a very important factor. Usually in the small signal analysis, we are using the MOS FET as the amplifiers. So this is all about the characteristics what we have learnt in the previous session. In the today's session, we will learn what is MOS FET as a switch. So the behavior of MOS FET as a switch is studied under two cases. Case 1 and case 2. So we are talking of a switch, isn't it? So we know what is a switch. This is a symbol of a switch. So I will call it as ESW. What is its working? Either the switch will be off or the switch will be on. If we tell that our MOS FET behaves or mimics in this way, then we are completed with our discussion MOS FET as a switch. So to obtain the off condition, we have to ensure that the MOS FET will operate in the cutoff region. To ensure that MOS FET operates in the cutoff region. So what are the parameters when we will get the cutoff region? When the value of VGS is less than the threshold voltage. We know that no channel will be formed, the drain current will be 0 and the MOS is put in the cutoff region. In this cutoff region, the MOS is not working, means that it is in the off state. This off state, I can resemble it to a open switch. So let's look at the circuit diagram. See, here we have a circuit diagram. This is a MOS FET. Okay. Then we have certain drain resistance, then input resistance. So here is the input voltage. So I am setting the value of the input voltage such that Vi is less than VTH. So what should be my value of Vi then? It should be any voltage which is less than the VTH. So if I make it as 0 volts, if I write now Vi is equal to 0 volts. How I will be getting the 0 volts? I will take this input side, I will ground it to the source because source is connected to ground. Ground means 0 volts. So if I take the wire and connect it downwards, that means Vi will be equal to 0. So if my Vi is 0, it means that the VGS is less than VTH. I have got what I needed. I needed that the MOSFET should operate in the cutoff region. So if it is so, then the drain current will become 0. So this is the equivalent circuit diagram when the MOSFET is operating in the cutoff region. It just resembles like a open switch. So let us move on for our next case where we are obtaining the case 2 where we are making the switch to be on. When the switch will be on, it means the MOSFET should be on. When the switch is on, it means that the MOSFET should be on. So when the MOSFET will be on, when the value of VGS is greater than VTH. So this is the VGS. It should be greater than VTH. Okay. So in this case, we know that the drain current exhibit two variations. One is it will be there in the linear region where the drain current is linearly or proportionally to the VDS, and there is a saturation region where the drain current is just behaving like a constant. So this is just on the verge when the of conducting of the MOSFET. This is when the value of VGS is much greater than VTH. This all data what I am talking to you, all the information we have already discussed in the previous session. But today's session is how we are making the MOSFET to work like a switch. In the first case, we just grounded the input where VGS was less than VTH and the MOSFET was off and it was behaving like a open switch. So in this example, we are making the value of VGSC much greater than VTH. So means what? I will just directly connect this input side to the VDD. So VDD will usually operate at plus 5 volts. So I am making the value of VGS very much larger than VTH. So directly the MOSFET is driven into the saturation region where it will behave like a closed switch and the current flows from drain to source. So when the value of VGS is greater than VTH, the MOSFET is on. So we have to directly push the MOSFET to saturation region. Therefore, the input voltage we are directly connecting to VDD. So by doing this, we are ensuring that the value of VGS is much greater than VTH and the MOSFET is driven to saturation region where it is behaving like a closed switch. So what we have discussed the MOSFET as a switch. So just have a quick recap of this one. So in the case 1, the switch is off and case 2, switch is on. Means that the MOSFET is off in the first case and in this the MOS is on in the second case. So let us draw the MOSFET. So this is the gate, drain, source is grounded. The point, this upper point is connected to plus 5 volts, that is VDD. So what I do, I want my value of VGS less than VTH. For what? For the MOSFET to be present or driven into the cutoff region. So if my value of VGS is less than VTH, automatically the MOSFET is moved or shifted to the cutoff region. For this, if I make the input voltage itself 0, automatically the value of VGS will be less than VTH and the MOSFET is driven to cutoff region. Therefore, it is off and it will behave like a open switch. So just for this, take this input and ground it. Directly the value of VGS will become 0. In the second case, we have to ensure that the MOSFET is driven in the saturation region. So to make the MOS in the saturation region, why? Because the drain current is constant there. So therefore, we are moving the MOSFET in the saturation region. For this, value of VGS should be much greater than VTH. So to obtain this one, so the value of the VGS, to obtain this much greater than VTH, I will connect my input to the VDD. So the gate itself is the input in the both cases. What I will do, I will just connect the wire upwards. So this MOSFET is driven to the saturation and it will behave like a closed switch. So when the MOSFET has to be on or like a closed switch, it is driven in the saturation region. Just very simple, look at the circuit diagram. Look at the circuit diagram. If my, let's look at the circuit diagram. So first one, see the VGS is connected to ground. It means the input voltage is connected to ground. So Vi 0, MOS is off, open switch. Second one is the input is connected to VDD. So VGS much greater than VTH. The MOSFET is driven to saturation region. Therefore, it will behave like a closed switch. Current flows from drain to source. This is how the MOSFET acts like a switch. So let us have some examples where we can analyze by connecting different type of loads. So what are the loads we can connect? So I have connected a lamp in my example. So I can connect a very small motor or a 12 volt DC motor. I can connect a LED. I can also connect a relay. So these are the many loads. So where is the load present in the circuit diagram? So I show that a lamp is the load. Okay. So usually at the drain, we are connecting the loads because the drain is the output side. The output current is flowing from drain to source. So at the drain, we are connecting the load. So see and look at the input. The input is a pulse of this type. So in this case, what? Vi is 0. In the next case, Vi is plus 5 volts. So again, it is repeating 0, plus 5 volts, etc. So if my Vi is 0, it means that VGS will be less than VTH. Automatically, the device is moved to the saturation region and the MOS is off. Sorry, if VGS is less than VTH, the device is moved to the cutoff region and therefore the MOS is off. So it will behave like an open switch. So means there is no connection from drain to source. The drain current is not flowing now. If it is not flowing, the lamp will be off. The lamp will be off. So for the next pulse, what is coming as the input? Plus 5 volts is coming at the input. So in this case, Vi is plus 5 volts. It means that VGS is much greater than VTH. So automatically MOS is driven to the saturation region and it behaves like a closed switch. Means the MOS is on. We have the current flowing now inside the MOSFET. That time automatically the lamp will be on. So instead of connecting a lamp, I can turn on and off the DC motor by making the MOS as a on switch and off switch. If it is on switch, the motor runs. If it is off switch, the motor stops. Similarly, if it is an on switch, the LED will be on. If it is an off switch, the LED is off. Similarly, if it is on, the relay will be on, and off, the relay will be off. Let us see what is the concept of the relay. Why? Because to the relay, we can connect the power devices at the output. So let us have an example there and look how the relay is included. So I will just draw the MOS. The resistances are usually used as the current limiters. For the limitation of the current itself, we are using the resistors. So here is the VDD. So usually let us be plus 5 volts. And here we will connect the relay. So this is a symbol of a relay. This is the input side of a relay and energizing of the relay. It is a coil and we have contacts like NO contact and the ENC contact. And we have a common point. So we have the NO, ENC and the common point. Usually the relay will be in a NO type. NO means normally open relay. ENC means normally closed relay. Means by default at the time of purchase the relay will be normally open. So the concept of the relay is when a current I flows, this relay is energizing. If it energizes, the contact from the NO position will move to the ENC position. It will trip from this part, upper part to the lower part. Upper part is the NO and the lower part is the ENC. So between these two points, I can connect the power devices. Okay, let us draw it here. So I will. This is representing the energizing of a coil, and this is the common. So I will draw my ENO point. Then I will also draw my ENC point. So by default, let it be in the ENO position. So I will represent it in this way. So now if Vi is 0, if Vi is 0, then I know that the value of VGS, this is the VGS, the value of VGS is less than VTH. So we all know that this is the condition where the MOSFET operates in the cutoff region. Where the MOSFET operates in the cutoff region and drain current is 0. So it will behave like a open switch. Means what? The drain current doesn't flow from drain to source. If it doesn't flow from drain to source, then the relay is not energized. The contact remains at this position only. So it never trips to the ENC. Okay. So now a plus 5 volts is connected. So I will make my VI as plus 5 volts. So in this case, the value of VGS is much greater than VTH and the MOSFET is driven to saturation region. In this, the drain current is constant. It means that the current flows from drain to source. So the coil is energized. Once it is energized, it trips from this point to this point. So before tripping, so I will connect a fan here, fan or any bulb. Then I will connect this to AC supply. See, I am connecting it to power here, 230 volts, 50 hertz AC supply. Here it is only 5 volts, small voltage. Okay. So, once the MOSFET is on, when it is on, when it is driven to the saturation region. What is the condition for that? The Vi is plus 5 volts or the VGS is much greater than VTH. Under this condition, the MOSFET is on. The current flows from drain to source. The relay coil is energized. The contact trips from NO to NC. Once it trips from this, the current flows, AC current flows from this point, goes to the C point, comes to the NC point, then passes and goes back to the supply. This may be a lamp, may be a fan, may be a solenoid, etc. Other devices, all high power devices high power operating at 230 volts 50 hertz. 230 volts 50 hertz. So I can turn on the devices, power devices with the help of a relay. So by what principle? By the switching operation of a MOSFET. So MOSFET as a switch is very much useful for the switching operations. So high frequency switching operations can be done for a MOSFET as a switch, where we have taken an example of a lamp and we have extended our example for connection of a DC motor or connection of a LED or connection of a relay. Okay, so let's take another example. See, very interesting example it is. So automatic pool filler. So in the automatic pool filler, it is just like a water level controller. We have an inlet valve which is closed or opened. If it is opened, water starts to flow in the pool. Water flows in the pool. If the valve is closed, water stops flowing in the pool. So this is the pool. This is the level of the water right now. And these are the metal probes. Okay. See, they have not touched the level of the water. So when they don't touch the level of the water, they exhibit a high resistance. They exhibit a high resistance when the contacts do not touch the water. Just like a sensor, touch the water. Once the metal probes come in contact with the water, they possess a lowest or low resistance. When they come in contact with water. So the function of the metal probes is, when they do not come in contact with the water or touch the water, they exhibit a very high resistance, and when they come in contact with the water, they exhibit a low resistance. Okay, so for example, let the metal probes do not come in contact. If they don't come in contact, they exhibit a high resistance. So if it exhibits a high resistance, then the current which has to flow from the VDD, that is, it takes two paths. One is this part and there is this path. Okay, so after the current is here, we don't know the valve is closed or it is open. Okay, so if it flows also, we don't know whether the MOS is on or off. Yes, so when the metal probes do not touch the water or do not come in contact with the water, they have a very high resistance. It means what? It means the pool has to be still filled with the water. Okay, so they exhibit a high resistance when they do not come in contact with the water. So the current, instead of flowing in this direction, flows here, where towards the gate of the MOSFET. So then what? The MOSFET will become on. When the MOSFET is on, the valve gets opened. If the valve is opened, water flows in the pool. Okay, so once the water flows, the level of the water rises. So let us now, the water level has raised from this to this. Now the metal probes come in contact with the water. So they exhibit a low resistance. So now the same current which was flowing to the R, instead of flowing to the moss, it flows to the metallic probe. So no current flows to the moss in the second case. When no current flows to the moss, VGS automatically becomes less than VTH, drain current will become 0, the MOSFET will become off. In the second case I am talking about, if the MOS is off, the valve gets closed. If the valve gets closed, water stops flowing. So what we are doing by automatic pool filler is, we are sensing the level of the water, and depending on the level of the water, we are making the valve open or close. So this operation can easily be handled by using the application of MOS as a switch. So let us move on for MOS FET applications. So MOS FET are very versatile and common devices in the VLSI industries. Why? Because they have almost replaced the BJTs in the today's technology. So the MOS FET are usually used to construct the logic gates. We know the logic gates are the different gates in the digital electronics, like NOT gate, then AND gate, then OR gate, etc. So these gates are constructed with the help of millions or billions of the MOS transistors. Therefore, we are using them in the digital integrated circuits, where thousands or to millions to billions of MOS transistors are integrated to get the desired operation or the desired device at the lowest VLSI technologies. So we can construct the logic gates with the help of the MOSFETs. Also, with the help of this AND gate or OR gate, we can construct the adders. Adders are just adding the binary numbers. So in the digital electronics, we know what is a binary number. So we can construct multipliers. What is a multiplication? It is a repeated process of addition. So many adders in a definite fashion form the multiplier. Similarly, we can connect subtractors, subtraction circuits with the help of the MOS devices. So division is a repeated process of subtraction. So therefore, we can also obtain the division operation. So I can obtain the plus, minus, multiplication and the division. So what are these? These are the basic operations of arithmetical and logical unit. Means what? The MOS FETs can construct the ALUs. Also, the MOS FET is used for the construction of the memory. What is memory? Storing information in the form of the binary digits is known as the memory. So the MOS cells will help me in storing the 1 or the 0, like SRAM and DRAM cells are present. For example, they help me in storing the values. Therefore, for data storage also we are using the MOS. As well as also for ALU we are using the MOS. Then to construct the read and write memory also we are using the MOS. See, wherever it is used. ALU plus RAM plus some ROM plus some input and the output devices, all these together they form the microprocessor or the microcontroller. So we are using the MOS in the microprocessors and the microcontrollers. Also, we are controlling the power devices with the help of a relay. This we already discussed in the previous slides. So, we are including the MOS in this SMPS. So, what is a SMPS? SMPS is a power supply used in the personal computers. So, in the computer, we are using a device SMPS which will power up the motherboard and the various accessories inside the desktop or the personal computers. So this SMPS converts a DC voltage into a very high frequency AC voltage, which is used for the connection of the various devices inside this. So for this high switching operation, we are using the MOS circuits. Also, we are using the MOS circuits for choppers as well as the variable frequency drives. So what is a chopper? A chopper is a circuit which converts a fixed DC to a variable DC. So we can change the DC voltage. So this is also a DC. I have written the value above the 0. It means it is a variable DC voltage. It is a fixed DC voltage. The devices which perform this conversion, they are known as the choppers. So we have the MOS on, therefore it is the on time. MOS off, it is the off time. So by changing the T on and T off of the MOS FET, we can vary the output DC voltage. For power regulation, it is extensively used. So also for power regulation, so medium capacity DC motors, not very high capacity, medium capacity or low range DC motors or DC generators are controlled by the power MOSFETs. They are nothing but the MOSFETs, the same operation, but they are operated at the power level. Power level in the sense 230 volts or 440 volts or 50 hertz. It is called as the power level, and 5 volts or 10 volts or 15 volts, they are called as the signal level. Okay. So apart from this, the MOS FET has applications in the amplifiers. What is the amplifier? So if I connect a input, the output is being amplified to a greater extent. So the gain of the output is considerably increased with respect to the input. So this operation also we can get in the MOS FET or MOS devices. Why? Because the characteristics, it operates in the linear region and then it becomes constant. This is again, we are talking of the output characteristics. So only the characteristics are a very important parameter. They tell us the performance of the device, for which application, which type of the MOS IC we have to take. So this linear part, we are using it for the amplification purpose. Therefore, once we are talking of the amplification, then we are using the MOS FET amplifiers. Today's transistor amplifiers are completely replaced by the MOS FET amplifiers. And where we are using amplification? In the radio frequency applications. In that way, we require the oscillators, where we convert a small DC voltage into fixed frequency of oscillations. So a certain frequency or your radio will be tuned to. To obtain that, we are using the oscillators. Then mixers are the devices which will translate high frequency to medium frequency. So for translation of the frequencies, we are using the mixers. Apart from that, the MOS FET will behave just like a normal resistance. So if I operate the MOSFET in the linear region, it will behave like a resistor, because in the linear region, the current will vary linearly with the voltage. Which current? Output current and the output voltage. Okay. So I can use the junction capacitance or the metal oxide, metal SiO2 and semiconductor as the capacitor purposes. The PCB design or the construction of the IC, the material used behaves like a inductor. So I can use a MOS FET to work like a passive element. Passive element just like R, L and C. So there are many applications. Let's repeat. What are the applications of the MOSFET? The MOSFETs are used in the digital integrated circuits such as microprocessors, microcontrollers, memory devices, wherein thousands to millions to billions of MOS transistors are integrated into a single IC to perform the desired operation. The MOSFETs are also used for the construction of the logic gates and the construction of the RAM, that is the data storage. The MOSFETs control the devices, that is the power devices, with the help of the relay. The MOSFETs are used in the SMPS and the chopper circuits to obtain the high switching speeds. They are also used in the variable frequency drives. The MOSFETs are used in the amplifiers for radio frequency applications. So they are also work like the oscillators and the mixers. The MOSFET also behave like a RLNC passive elements because of their constructional parameters. The MOSFETs or the power MOSFETs are used for the regulation of the DC motors voltage or the power. So now let us move on to what are the different MOSFET ratings. So we have the VTH. It is the threshold voltage, or it is called as the gate threshold voltage. It is defined as the voltage above which the MOS starts conducting. So usually this whatever ratings I am talking about, they are excuse me, they are present in the data sheets of the MOSFETs. So next parameter is VDS, drain to source voltage. What is the maximum drain to source voltage I can connect? So it is defined as the maximum voltage that can be connected between drain to source for the proper working of the MOSFET. What is drain to gate voltage? So how much amount of the voltage can be connected between the drain and the gate of the MOSFET? So what is the output resistance RD? We know that it is defined as the ratio of the change in the output voltage to the change in the input voltage. Therefore, it is the resistance between the drain to source when the MOS is on. What is on-state drain current? It is the current carried by the MOSFET when the device is on. In this again we have what is the maximum current that can be carried by the MOSFET. Then if I use the MOSFET as amplifier, what is the amplification factor I am going to get? That is given by the transconductance of the device. Also we can obtain the different operating temperatures for the MOSFET, whether it is a industrial grade of means for all the commercial applications, or it is a military grade. So the construction of the MOS will change for industrial grade and the military grade, because the operating temperatures for this say maybe from 0 to 70 degree to 100 degree, but for military applications usually we have from a negative range to a positive range. Say for example, it may be from minus 55 to 70 degree centigrade. So the operating temperatures will change for what application the MOS is going to be used for. Then what is the power dissipation of the MOSFETs? So MOSFETs we have already discussed have a low power, they are low power devices. Okay. Then what is the drain to source breakdown voltage? So VDS breakdown. If I connect a reverse bias voltage, or my drain usually will be positive, source will be usually negative. If I connect drain as negative, source as positive, then it is a reverse bias drain source junction. So in that, what is the maximum voltage the MOSFET can withstand? It is called as VDS-BR, voltage of the drain to source breakdown, or breakdown voltage at the drain to source terminal. The next is what is IDSS? It is the drain current that can flow to the device for different temperatures, but the condition is VGS should be 0. So turn on and turn off times, they are usually used for the switching operations. Then also the MOSFETs, they exhibit the junction capacitance. So GS, capacitance between gate to source. DS, capacitance from the drain to source. GD, capacitance from gate to drain. SS, capacitance from source to substrate. So one more terminal of the MOSFET is the substrate terminal. Usually we are not considering this because internally it will be connected to the source terminal. So what are the different parameters we have studied? We have studied VTH, VDS, VTH, VTH we studied, VDS we studied, VDG we studied, then what is ID, then what is the maximum value of the drain current the device or the MOSFET is going to handle, what is the output resistance, what is the transconductance, what is the power dissipation, what is the operating temperature, then what is the T on of the MOSFET or device, what is the T off of the device, what are the different capacitances between the junctions, capacitances between the junctions, what is the drain current which is flowing when VGS is 0. These are all the specifications of a MOSFET. For any MOSFET IC if you take, you will have to read the data sheet of the MOSFET. So if we go on reading the data sheet of the MOSFET, it will give these all parameters. So it will give what is the threshold voltage, what is the drain source voltage you can connect, what is the power dissipation, what is the operating temperature, what are the turn on or turn off times, what is the output resistance and the transconductance, what is the maximum drain current the MOSFET can handle. So these are the different MOS ratings of the specific MOSFET. So we can usually you will be using this MOS as an experiment in the analog and the digital lab where you will be referring the data sheets. So what we have discussed in today's session, we learned that the MOS devices can be used like a switch, on switch and off switch, where we connected let's say a lamp and we controlled it. Then we used a 12 volt DC motor. Then we know the operation of the relay and we can make them on and off depending on what is my application. Then the major important of this is switching because it has a very smooth transition from on to off with less noise and less power. Less noise and less power. So the common field application of the MOS is the switching applications. Apart from that, wherever the low power applications are required, we are using the MOS FETs. So here is the mind map just to recall what we have studied here. The first topic we studied was MOS FET as a switch. So if the input is 0, Vi is 0, VGS will be less than the VTH, then drain current is 0, the MOSFET is driven to the cutoff region and it will behave like an open switch. So it means that switch is off. The second one, if I make my VDD directly, if I make my VI directly to VDD, that is plus 5 volts, then the value of VGS is much greater than the VTH. The MOSFET is directly driven to the saturation region and in this case it will behave like a closed switch. Then we discuss about the different applications of the MOS FETs one by one and we have studied the different ratings also of the MOSFET. What are the ratings? So what should be the gate to source voltage? What should be the drain to source voltage? Gate to drain voltage, ID or maximum value of ID, RD output resistance, GM operating temperature, power, turn on and the turn off times. These are minimum parameters there. These are minimum parameters what you should know about a particular MOS FET. So these are the references. You can visit the websites for the more information and the textbooks. What I have used for creating this video content is Albert Paul Malvino, Electronic Principles by Albert Paul Malvino and David J. Bates. Then Principles of Electronics by V.K. Mehta and Electrical Technology Volume 4 by B.L. Thereja. So let's have a questions. So let me see how much you have understood from this topic. MOSFET can be used as option A switch, option B amplifier, option C both A and B. So option D none of this. So think wisely. So we studied in the today's class that MOSFET can be operated like a switch. But whether the MOSFET is used as an amplifier, think. So I think you have guessed the answer. The answer is C, that is both A and B. Next question. When VGS is greater than VTH, MOSFET is on, off, tri-state, none of this. So if the VGS is greater than VTH, we know that the MOS is on. So it is what? Option A. MOSFETs are integral part of diodes, logic gates, both A and B, none of this. The meaning of the word integral part is it is the basic part for construction of diode, whether the MOSFET is the basic part, or for construction of the AND gates, OR gates, NOR gates, whether MOSFET is of the basic part. That is the question asked in this scenario or in this example. So both A and B. So what may be the answer? We have discussed in the application of the MOSFETs is they are the integral parts or the basic parts of the logic gates. Therefore, I guess you have already got the answer. The answer is B, that is the logic gates. So when VGS is 0 or less than VTH, so whenever VGS is less than VTH, it's a very common answer. The MOSFET is gas off, that is answer D. So this is the question where we have to wisely answer it. So assertion means it is a statement, and the statement is correct or no, or from where, what is the reason to write the assertion statement comes from the reason statement. So the assertion is the drain current. The drain current through the device is 0 if the MOSFET behaves like an open switch. What is the condition for the open switch? VGS is less than VTH. So this is a statement. I know it is true. The drain current can be 0. We don't know for what condition it is 0, but it can be 0. But if this statement is true, whether the true for this statement comes from the second statement, then it is both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. But if the second statement doesn't become the cause for the first statement, then it is both A and R are correct, but R is not the correct explanation of A. So in this, A may be correct, R may be wrong, A may be wrong, R is correct. So let us come back to the assertion. The drain current through the device is 0. So the drain current can become 0 if I turn off the FET, it can become 0. So if it becoming 0 means whether if it is becoming 0 for the MOSFET as an open switch, yes, it can become 0 for MOSFET as an open switch. Then this is the option will be our A. Both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. So our answer is A. So thank you one and all. So the persons what you are going seeing on the slides are the persons who have put their too much efforts for the creation of this content. Thank you one and all.